Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Aquarius collective in late April as we move on into Taurus season? It's late Aries, early Taurus. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius. Yeah, the cards are trying to jump out of my hands already. Let's get it going here. What's the vibe? What's the energy? There we go. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, this is a little bit of a softer energy than I'm used to seeing at the beginning of your readings, but that's okay. There's like a nice spiritual tie to it, and there's a nurturing aspect, which I find really nice. It's very endearing to me. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady with that nice headdress snuggling up to that white bird that seems to be glowing, that dove. Now, in divination and in symbolism, white birds, especially doves, can represent peace, love and light type of energies, angelic. So you name it. This is like your spirit team. So whether it's your guides, your ancestors, notice that the close bond between them. So I love this card for spiritual protection. And this can also represent spirit saying like, hey, you're not alone. We're here. Even if you don't see me, even if you don't feel me all the time, we're here. So it's very reassuring. I love this. Now, this can transition to just material world stuff alone, because I did say there's a tenderness here. So I'm not saying it's you. Maybe it's someone you're connected to. Maybe they're a little more affectionate, or maybe they need or craving some affection. I would say like with this card, it makes me feel like someone needs a hug, right? So I'll give you a big internet virtual bear hug, but maybe you need one. Maybe someone else needs one. Everyone needs a hug every now and then, right? So we're just going to put her down right there. The only downside with this energy um, is that it is so soft and it is so tender. It's an energy that can be hurt easily. So we're just going to let it chill out, though. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say with that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aquarius. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So there was a lot of surveilling going on for some reason last week. The reading was titled They're Watching You. So for some of you, maybe it was something very harmless and simple, like, hey, maybe you're catching more people's attention. Maybe you're under the microscope. Or maybe there was someone that Spirit wants you to keep an eye on, because it did show up in multiple places in the reading last week where it's like, keep an eye on this, keep an eye on this, or like someone's doing some observing and watching. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aquarius. What's happening for our good friends? Thank you. Cool. All right. So Emperor in position number 1 came out with another card. Been seeing this Emperor quite a bit, and I know we're on the back end of Aries season. This card can be Aries, and we'll talk about that further. But it's the one next to it that I want to keep a very close eye on. We got the Devil in position number 2. Don't get freaked out about it, right? Like there's positives and negatives to every card. Let's get one more. Thank you. 8 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what this trapped energy is. There's like this energy that feels trapped. That's so odd. I'm gonna try to not get too intuitive just yet, but like all this energy just feels like very, very firm. Now, for some of you, that could be a great thing. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always love to look at the elements. It frames the reading. It tells us how things are flowing. And on the bright side, there's 3 different elements here, which is good, because when there's too much of one element, that makes the reading lopsided, right? So we got fire, earth, and air. Even though this card looks like fire and brimstone, it's actually earth. So these could be totally different things. It doesn't have to be the same thing. So I like that they're different. Now, when it comes to fire, that's the realm of action. The actions that you want to take, the actions that we want to take, the actions other people are taking, things we want to do. I think of health, vitality, and energy levels when it comes to the fire. The only downside to fire, and I say it every damn time, is that it could be very unpredictable. It could be very explosive. It could be an energy that just looks like it's going one way and then boom, goes another direction. So we need to keep an eye on this. It's good for making stuff happen, which it's definitely necessary with the next card and element coming over, with the devil being earthly. Now, when I see the earth element, it does represent security and stability. I think of routine, I think of day to day life, I think of money, work, business, finances, home, and family. So the material world. And if you do look at deeper esoteric symbolism, the devil and Satan, they do kind of tie into the material reality we live in. I'm not going to go too far down that rabbit hole, but I think a lot of you are picking up what I'm putting down. Now, the downside to earth energy, it could be a little slow, it could be a little stuck, it could be a little set in its ways. Now, right here we have air. That's your power element. I always say Aquarius, although you are the water bearer, you are an air sign. So we have your power element. Air is logic. It's strategic. It's the logical mind, information and how we process it, communication. That's all in play. The only downside with air is that it could be cold and detached. So we want to see how all this plays, because I do get some friction happening in this spread. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Emperor. Now, as I said, like for this card we have coming up, this energy feels somewhat necessary. I'm already picking that up. But the Emperor is Aries energy. So in my simplistic style, this could tell us something that's coming towards you, something that's in place right now. If you're not connected to an Aries, the Emperor could represent people in perceived positions of authority. So think of bosses and CEOs, shot callers, stuff like that. Now, for some Aquariuses, maybe that's an energy you're in. Maybe that's an energy you're stepping into. Remember, the Emperor is the King of Kings, right? So we got the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the King of Swords, King of Wands. They answer to this guy, right? So there's good aspects to this card because it makes things happen. It calls the shots. However, just like every card, there is a downside. The Emperor can sometimes be overly controlling or overbearing, someone trying to tell you what to do and how to do it and when to do it. And knowing what I know about you beautiful Aquariuses, since I have so many in my personal life and since I read for a lot of you personally, that's usually a big no-no when dealing with an Aquarius, saying like, hey, you have to do this at the this can be a little bossy, but we'll look at it. Usually Aquarius gets on pretty well with Aries energy. So I'm not saying it's definitely a bad thing, but sometimes it could also represent situations that are out of our hands, right? Situations, problems out there, nothing we can really do about it. So we'll see what's up. Now, moving to the middle, we have the devil. And I always tell people, don't get freaked out about this card. If you have Capricorn placements, if you're connected to a Capricorn, this could simply be it, right? Like, and they only get this card due to the goat symbolism. But as I already mentioned, when it comes to the material aspects of the world and life itself, this card can actually be a positive. So when it comes to work, business, earning those pentacles, this is actually a very good card. So for those of you going through issues in that area, this could be nice. But there is a laundry list of downsides when it comes to the devil card, right? Because it could represent addictions, it could represent obsessions, it could represent situations or problems that we've been dealing with for a long time. So whether they're cycles that continue to repeat within our lives, like you see what I mean with this devil, it's planted and it's hard to move away from it, right? So when I see the Emperor right next to the devil, it's like, all right, well, this energy is actually necessary to handle this, right? Like if there's anyone that could handle this devil energy, it would be this Emperor. That's initially what it's telling me. And I'm not being biased because I'm an Aries, all right? So we'll look at that devil and see what it could really be. Now, moving to the back end, we do have a wound tight type of energy. We have the Eight of Swords, and we see this person surrounded by the swords, blindfolded, hoodwinked, and bamboozled. There could be certain things going on where it's like I'm missing information, certain things that confuse me, I don't understand. This could be definitely overthinking, anxious, nervous, on edge type of energy. But other vibes here could represent feeling trapped, feeling cornered. So like when we pair it with this devil Eight of Swords, that's an energy where it's like, what do I do now? It's like I feel stuck. I feel like something's not moving. How can I break free of this? Okay. And again, it doesn't have to be you. It could be someone else. The good thing about the Eight of Swords is that it's different from this devil because this energy is fleeting. Whereas the devil sticks around a long time, the Eight of Swords is like it's gone with the wind. So we do want to see what's happening here, my good friends. We got a very intriguing mixture of energy this week. So let's get that Eight of Swords right there. I want to dive deeper on all of it, my friends. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Aquarius friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. All right, let's go in on that Emperor. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Emperor time. What's he doing here? And yeah, just keep this in mind as well. We're just looking at energetic potential, my friend. This doesn't mean that this devil's going to come and visit you this week, right? Like, this is just an energetic weather report. Yeah. There's just something about this Emperor energy where I feel like it can be of great assistance. So we have the Six of Cups in reverse underneath it. I'm not sure if this is someone that you used to know, someone that you do know, like, or an advice giver. But like, when I see the Six of Cups in reverse underneath the Emperor, it's either one of two things. One, specifically for those of you that have an Aries connection, there could be an open door to reconnect with an Aries. That's very specific. Don't everyone take that. But to me, it's like, this is someone that has been through a thing or two. They've seen the world, they've gone through problems, and they can help navigate and help you through it. Now, for some Aquariuses, maybe that's how you're acting. Maybe you're acting as that guide for somebody else, where it's like, hey, I'm not the boss. I'm on the same journey as you. I'm just a little bit up the road. That's how this feels to me. So again, there is this energy that could come back in to really assist with something or help. I don't know why that's coming through. If we are seeing a problem here, there's nothing wrong with asking for assistance if you need it. Outsourcing a little assistance or help if you need it. There's nothing wrong with that, because this to me feels like a specialist, right? Six of Cups to me, aside from soul ties, soul connection, soul bonds, in reverse, it does represent things popping back up and returning. But the main thing to me in this alignment is, this is someone that's seen a lot of things and they know how to navigate this road. So again, whether you're looking for advice, whether this is someone that pops up to say, all right, Aquarius, I've been through that, let me help guide you through it. It feels like a guide to me, or someone that can help you with a problem. That's what it feels like. So we're just going to keep moving. Either that or someone's popping back up. But let's go in on this devil. That's very, very specific. Very, very specific. Okay, let's see what the devil has for you. Because now I want to get to the Eight of Swords too. But let's see why the devil's here. Why is the devil here? All right, I get it though. I get it. So we have Lady Justice in reverse underneath this devil. Sometimes there are certain things or situations where it's like, all right, well, if I was in that person's position, I would just do this. It's easy to do or say when you're not going through it, right? I don't know why I'm getting so hyper specific, but when I see the devil with Lady Justice in reverse, this could be someone that feels like, I don't know what I can even do about this. So for some Aquariuses, maybe there is somebody that might need your point of view, your guidance, your assistance, your help. Maybe some of you need it as well. That's very possible, right? Like, I'm not too proud to admit when I need assistance with something, right? Justice is Libra energy, right? Very karmic, usually represents balance, harmony, fairness. So when I see it in reverse underneath the devil, yeah, this feels like a big problem. This does feel like a situation where it's like, where do I go from here? How do I solve this? Like, why is this energy still lingering? Like, that's just how it feels. I do still get this energy that can help. I do still get it. It's there. So like, there is a way through, but either this is like a very serious situation or a big problem I'm picking up in the center. Someone's going through it. So if you notice someone you're connected to really going through a tough one, maybe offer the assistance, right? If it's someone you care about, offer the assistance. And I know sometimes people don't want advice if they don't ask for it, but there could be someone here needing some advice. Right? I'm very careful with that too. Like, if someone doesn't ask for my point of view, if they don't ask for my advice, I usually stay quiet until asked. But there might be someone where it might be beneficial for you to be a little proactive. We're getting hyper specific here, Aquarius. Let's keep going. Let's keep going to that Eight of Swords. So again, only take what hits for you, energetic weather report, all that good stuff. Let's see why the Eight of Swords is here. Then we'll do our recap. Okay. Four of Swords. Energy calms down. Okay. So this might even be part of the advice. Okay. So we have the Four of Swords with the Eight of Swords in reverse. This to me shows up in two ways. One, this could be someone that just needs a little pressure relieved, where they need a little break, rest, recuperation, where it's like, don't force it, don't push it too hard. So there could be certain things or situation where spirit might just be like, all right, hands off approach, Aquarius, let it do what it's going to do. So maybe you offer advice and then let it do what it's going to do. But Eight of Swords, Four of Swords is like this energy just needs to decompress. Like this energy is a pause. It's not like a full ending. It's like taking a break of sorts. So whether you need it, whether someone else needs it, this is an energy that needs to recharge its battery somehow. But the other thing I was going to say in context of the situation or the problem that I was picking up here in the center, and this information is just like flowing like wild this week. Um, it's hard for somebody to see a way out when they're in the midst of a spiral. So keep that in mind as well. You could give someone the best, most loving, empathetic advice in the world. If they are in the midst of a spiral, or if they're currently going through the worst of it, there's a good chance that they might not digest it completely, right? Like, I don't know why that's coming through. So just keep that in mind. Like if someone is in the eye of the storm, if they're right in the center of it, you might have the best intentions, but if like it's hard for people to digest things until after the fact. So we're getting very specific stuff here, Aquarius. I do see the energy alleviating at some point, though. That's a good thing. Like with what I have here on the back, the stress, the anxiety, I do see it alleviating and getting better. That's the big silver lining here. But I do feel for a lot of you, this might not even be yours. This might not even be your energy. Like you might be the emperor here. So let's go through and do a quick recap, and we'll get into the shadow. That was very hyper specific. Again, energetic weather report. You only take it if it hits for you. This must be for someone out there, right? Because it was getting very specific. But if you kind of look in the box position, number one, we got the Emperor with the Six of Cups in reverse. This to me feels like a guide. This to me feels like outsourcing, like if someone's been through something or if there's an expert where it's like, hey, I'm going through something right now and I don't know how to traverse it. I don't know how to get through it. You get someone on board that's already walked that road. Sometimes wisdom from experience is the best thing you can do. And that's kind of how this feels. And it also feels like giving advice too. Moving, and it could be something that pops up or returns as well. I'm not discounting that. Moving into the center, we have the Devil with Lady Justice in reverse. Yeah, this feels either like a serious situation or a big problem, point blank, period. Um, this is an energy that might feel like, where do I go from here? Or how do I solve this? Or why am I still dealing with this? There is this stuck feeling. Moving to the back end, there is an alleviation, right? We have the Eight of Swords with the Four of Swords. Someone just needs a break, recuperate, let the pressure go down a little bit. And I also had that very specific message about it's hard for someone to digest the advice if they're in mid spiral. So please take a screenshot. If you want to look into it further, let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Aquarius, please? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. Thank you. Cool. Temperance. This is the energy that offsets that devil energy. And I'm not sure, like, for those of you that have a tarot deck, you should take out the devil and take out temperance and put them next to each other. It's oddly familiar, right? So temperance usually depicts Archangel Michael, big Sagittarius energies. And what does temperance speak about? Patience, calm, letting something mellow out, just like we were getting here on the back end of the spread. Right? Temperance does draw things back and let things mellow, which I think is a great thing. It is a card of patience. Now, for some of you, depending on what you're going through, maybe you're out of patience, right? That's very possible, because that could be the big downside to temperance, where it's like, you know what? I've been nice enough. I've been more than patient. I've been patient enough. My patience is running thin. So that could be the shadow side of temperance, where this card, like, it could, flip upside down and get a little wild. So just watch out for that. Certain things that might be weighing on your patience when this card is here. But I also think it's good because it offsets a lot of the stuff we saw within the spread. So we're going to put that down right there. Aquarius. That's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale or one of the custom-made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.